Hello?
Hello?
Howdy.
How are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Alright, I'm at the mall, so I really can't hear you that well. But so you say being gay isn't a choice.
Yes, that is
So
what I said.
do you think it's a gene thing, or how do you think that works?
I do believe that it is
Oh no, thank you.
I do believe that it is inherent and not something you decide. It is something you realize. I believe it's part of your makeup, your psyche, your like the mental state in which you are born is how you are. Just like some people prefer to wear blue, some people like to wear green, some people hate the color
Yeah,
red,
but that's also
things like
a
that.
choice
No, it's not
because
a
different
choice. It's
colors of
something.
people change.
Right. Okay, that is true, but you have certain things like people will automatically never want to try something, or people will automatically hate certain foods, certain things they don't like, certain things they can't like. There are things that are inherent that they do not or do like, and things that they are and things that they aren't.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I've always hated celery. I never tried it until I was probably about 18 years old. Now, celery is actually okay. So, how would that be the same thing?
So that you don't like salad, but salad is good? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, when I was like, I always hated celery until I was probably about 18 years old when I tried it, and it was actually okay. So, it was a choice that I chose to make, but it wasn't something I was inherited with. It was just I chose not
Okay.
to eat it.
Okay, that's true. But what I'm saying is that this is not something that you decide either way.
Well,
This
then
is
how do
something that is
people go from
decided.
being gay to straight and straight to gay?
You
It's a
don't.
choice.
There's a realization, and then sometimes people misinterpret their realization. There are multiple levels of being of like sexual orientation and identity. There are many levels of things like that.
So you're
It's
saying that if you are you straight or are you homosexual?
I am homosexual. Yes.
Okay. Now, say if you were homosexual and you went your whole life until you're probably about 2 years before you died, therefore, and then you found out you were straight, so you weren't gay that entire time.
Well, that depends on if I did anything or not. I mean, I would like to think that yes, because I think there is no changing in that sense where you go for a majority of your life and don't realize it until 2 years before you die. I think that is extremely a very unrealistic view on that. But I think that
But there's
if you're talking
celebrities that were
about
straight and that went gay. There's many people that were gay and went straight, and it's just
right, and
you
that
really
could be
can't
an
say
effect
it's
of society.
inherited or it's not a choice because therefore, if it wasn't a choice, they would have never switched in the first place. They would have never thought they were a different one if they already knew they were this. Because it just doesn't make any sense. Besides, it's a choice.
Right, and I think some people, there are a lot of people, especially in figures that are celebrities, that do things like this for attention. Sometimes you have things like that, but when you look at it when you see truly like people that are members that are part of the LGBT community, they don't change their position, they don't flip-flop each day. Homosexuality is found in almost every species in the world, and it's a natural occurrence. Now, it's not extremely common as being straight is, as we know, but it is not something that like a lion decides. It's something that it's born with, and like being, whether or not it is a choice, people deserve respect and the same treatment regardless. If they decide that they want to do that, some people do decide.
Yeah.
But
So
most
I'm
people
just
don't.
saying it's a full blown choice. But I think people of the LGBT community misunderstand it when people like me say I just don't support it. Now people take it of your community. People take offense like, oh, you hate us. You're Christian. You hate us. God hates us. This and that. But no, I have tons of gay friends and family. It's just if they invite me to their wedding, I'm not gonna go because that's something I don't support. If they're kissing their man, I'm gonna look away because that's just something I don't support. Now I don't hate them for it, but a lot of you people in the community misinterpret our words and therefore try to turn it around on us, saying that we hate your kind
Well,
and stuff like that.
what is the source of your disliking? Why is that?
Why I don't support it?
Yeah, what's the basis of it?
I mean, I'm Christian. I believe in the Bible. In the Bible, it says a man should never lie with another man, and vice versa for women. Now, and that's just something I don't support. Now, I mean, when you say that, a lot of people in the LGBT take offense to that and saying, like, you're so wrong for that. It's like, I just don't support it. Like, just how some people don't support guns, I don't hate them for it. I'll just tell them, hey, gun control just doesn't work, and that's just
Right.
how it is. But
Okay.
I think being gay is a choice. It's not something you're born with. There's no gene out there that this person's born with, because there could be two identical twins and everything, and one can be gay and one's not. It's a choice. It's not nothing different than that.
No, that's actually not true. When there were several studies done that with twins, they have, if they're identical twins, they have the identical sexual orientation as well. There is no difference. If they're not identical, then yes, they can be different, but if they're identical twins, then they will have the same. But that's just a technicality, whatever. But when you're talking about, like, I don't take offense when you say that in the Bible, but I don't believe in anything of that sort. I'm not a theistic person. I don't believe in a creator being or any sort of holy, benevolent God of any type. But if you take the Bible is not meant literally. It is a book of figurative language designed to convey messages
because actually God's recording is kept by many people who believed in God and didn't believe in God, that he was actually on this earth. They actually found people writing about God's stuff, and they didn't even believe in the Christianity or believe in God, but they have his recordings out there. So how does that therefore just make it not real? And I watched the other video.
I didn't say it wasn't real. I said that it's a figurative book.
What was that?
Well, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying it's not real, that the book isn't real, or that the people who spread his message aren't real. I'm saying it's not a book of everything in there is not literal. None of it is completely, it's not supposed to be, not everything is designed to be completely concrete. There are things that are figurative. There are things that are interpreted differently based on person and personal experience and things like that. Not everything in that book is completely like set in stone.
And how do you know that?
Because there are plenty of stories that people are like, oh, come on, the earth wasn't made in 7 days. It's a figurative story.
Yeah, but then how do you explain the big flood? How do you explain multiple things?
Those are completely figurative. Those are used to pass time. They're just the same as folklore stories. They're used.
Okay, but then why isn't there another Earth just like us? Why isn't it happening constantly? Because every day that passes, it's a billion time to something, you guys say. So why isn't it Earth happening every single day? If each and every day is a new day for the Earth to happen from the time being.
What is you're saying? Each and every day for like another Earth in the universe? Is that what you're saying?
Because I believe you said you believe in the Big Bang Theory. No.
Yeah, sure. I'll take that for example. And yeah, if that exists, if that was the Big Bang, and then you have everything now, there are supposed to be worlds that are just like ours, but there may not be humans on there. There may be differences, but
the thing is, every day there should be a new one. If the Big Bang Theory worked, every day is the billionth time from some day back then. Just like how evolution, if people, they say that we came from monkeys and this and that. Well, if that was true, why isn't it still happening today? Why isn't it? Because every day is that time from the day before, so it should still be happening today if that really happens.
Right. Well, we are consistently evolving. We still continue to do so.
And how are we fully evolving from? How is the ape turned into a human and vice versa?
Well, you don't revert evolutionary. Your evolutionary genes don't revert. They only better themselves based on what you need and what you don't need. For example, the gallbladder used to be something we needed, but you don't need it.
And what was the gallbladder there for?
You don't need it. I don't know specifically what the purpose was for. I'd have to look that up, but I do know that you can get it removed. It's not a necessary organ.
But has it always been able to get it removed?
No, because sometimes it was necessary back in times when we needed it. But now that we've evolved past that,
some people actually do need their gallbladder today. Not everyone can go off without their gallbladder.
No, you can. You can survive without a gallbladder. You can survive without an appendix. You can survive
that's
with one
because no one
lung.
even knew what appendix were for back then. Even the day, no one even knows what appendix are for still.
But do you need it to live?
But the thing is, you didn't need it to live back in the day.
But we don't know that, because if we don't know the purpose of it now,
okay, but if you didn't know that, then you can't say, oh, well, then today you can't change the answer and say, well, you don't need it today, but back then you did, because you don't know.
I'm not saying we needed it back then. I'm saying we don't know. I don't know.
Well, then you can't say, but then you can't say, well, that's a reason we evolved, because therefore that's a wrong answer if you're going to say,
no,
but back then.
Let's use our intelligence for a second. Let's think. Everything that we have has a purpose. Okay. Correct? Everything inside of us has a purpose.
Okay.
Or had a purpose. In some few years, we may not need some other organ. We may not need a kidney. We may only need one kidney. I don't know. When evolution continues,
today some people can live off one kidney, and back then some people can live off one kidney.
Exactly. But I'm saying we may not be born with
today's a big difference is not valid, because what you could do back then, you can still do today. Just like you can remove your gallbladder back in the day. Not everyone needed it. Just like some people actually do need their gallbladder. Not everyone needed it. So therefore, it's invalid to say that people today, we've came from different, because today we don't need it. Well, back then you didn't even know if you needed it or not.
Okay, that makes sense from what you're saying there, but what I'm saying, that's not what I'm saying. If we decided if we needed it or not, the point is that certain functions no longer are necessary. We don't need, some of our teeth are not as sharpened as they used to be when back in days when we were more primitive in our need to bite food and rip it off of bone. We don't necessarily.
But if I were to grow up doing that, my teeth would be like that. It's not about I was born like that. If I were to constantly do that, my teeth would therefore transform to that. It's not that evolution changed that. It's just if I don't do those acts anymore, that's not going to do to my teeth. Just like if you chew on ice, your teeth are going to be different from someone who doesn't chew on ice.
That's true. Yeah, if you chew on ice and someone else doesn't. But what I'm saying
is that's not a sign of evolution or anything like that.
A sign of evolution, then yeah, because things change, your facial structure changes. You can look back and see all the different versions of humanity from the Neanderthal to us. There are substantial changes just physically alone, not to mention mentally and our ability to communicate, the evolution of language, the evolution of writing, the evolution of mental like abilities and things like that always happens. There's always
but that's kind of like saying just anything that changes is evolution. That's not true. If I cut off
that's not
finger,
what I'm saying. I'm saying there's an evolution of language.
If you're born with one finger off, it's not evolution. It's just a gene mess up. It happened back then and it still happens today. It's not oh my god, he's born without one finger.
Gene disorders are a completely different area that has nothing to do with evolving. That's a genetic mishap, like you said.
Exactly. But the thing is, what you guys do is take that such thing as it. Just like eating ice and not eating ice, you can't take that as evolution. You can't take any of that. No one, if evolution occurred, why isn't there anyone with my exact same fingerprints or anyone with my exact same face as I have? Why isn't there any of that? Why are we all different human beings and there's 7 billion different human beings on this planet? 7 billion plus human beings on here. None of them are the same.
None of them are the same because no DNA is capable of being reproduced the same. You are created from two separate people who, when the genes mix, they all mix and match differently.
Exactly. But if evolution occurred, why haven't we transformed as humans into something different than back in the day?
Because that takes an extremely long process.
Yeah, but the thing is, why haven't monkeys turned into humans then? Because from the day one, today is the billionth day, which you guys like to say. So therefore, why isn't it occurring today?
Why isn't it occurring today? Because, well, you're trying to tell me that like these things should immediately change. And today's day.
You say it takes a billion years, but the thing is, today is the billionth year of something. So where's the change in that? And that's not what makes sense. Today is the billionth year from a billionth year ago. That you just said it takes over time. Therefore,
yeah, it does. But it also not only does it just take time, it takes the correct genetic changes. It doesn't just happen over time. Like we reproduce enough and it'll be different. Like if you mix water with oil, it's not going to become vinegar. It doesn't happen. If you mix different objects together, different genes, different things, you will get new products. You will get new results. And
so how are we going to evolve into something different?
Because of the constant evolution between us or not evolution, reproduction between members of our community and members of the human race, there are so many different genetic possibilities that will continue to keep going. They call it mutations. There are genetic mutations, and mutations can be negative, but mutations can also be positive. Like some people are born with a genetic mutation for albinism. Some people are born with a genetic mutation for
okay, but the thing is, where did we come from as evolution? Let me ask you this.
Where did we come from in the beginning?
Yeah. No, where were humans made out of?
Where were humans made out of? Well, if you trace it back, we go all the way to the beginning of the planet, to the beginning of the creation of Earth.
Okay, and what was the first animal here?
Well, the first living creature was bacteria and amoeba, and then that grew into other smaller single-celled organisms, and then continued to reproduce into larger single-celled organisms, or larger multiple-cell organisms, and then they just took on different genetic necessities and traits and learned different things based on their environments and adapted to those, and then continued to grow, reproduce, create new areas. And
okay, but where did we come from? Where was the animal before humans?
Well, the proposed theory is that it was apes or primordial beings like that.
Okay. Now, why haven't apes turned into humans today?
Because they have not had the sufficient genetic changes that are necessary.
And how come
just
they don't
as
have
we
that if
have.
they had it back in the day?
They did not have it in the back of the day. We have not come from the same specific species as exists now. That
you're
species
saying, okay,
no longer
apes
exists.
had a start. There was a thing of apes. Now, apes kept having sex, having children, and et cetera, until human was born, basically.
Okay, but you see, let me break this down. There are multiple different species of apes, yes?
Yes.
Okay, multiple of them actually, no longer exist. Some were extinct, some have been hunted out of extinction, and one of them evolved. It's not that all apes are on the same level of evolving.
But the thing is, it just doesn't make any sense because how long has humans been here for?
Sense than it's something. It's it doesn't have the same. They have the same level of we're gonna put in a level of a little bit of a leap of faith there to talk about that. But what else do you think happened then? Let me ask you, like, what do you personally believe?
I believe God created everyone on this planet in the 7 days He did.
But there is absolutely no factual evidence to support that statement whatsoever.
Okay, but the thing is, God's recordings were out there. People
written by humans
and everything. Jesus Christ was on this planet.
Humans.
People's recordings had Him heal people. His recordings are there. Even if you didn't believe in it, His recordings are there from multiple different people. So therefore, saying my proof is more evidence than you have proof is saying it's not real because His recordings are recorded. They're there.
His recordings of what, though? His recordings written by humans.
Him actually touching someone and they're better. And that's actually physical evidence. Him being hung on the cross. Physical evidence of everything He's done is actually in books of recordings.
That can be applied to every single religion. That can be applied to everything.
No, people don't have these books saying that. Many different sources of people that didn't believe in Christianity actually said that His recordings were there. This man walking the earth has actually healed somebody.
Okay, come on. The same is the same with Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad.
But you're thinking Christians are the ones saying this. It's not Christians saying this. There's actual recordings of it.
It's the same thing. There are other recordings of people coming to the Middle East and saying they've seen it.
Does it make a sound? Yes, it does. Just because you didn't hear it does not mean it doesn't make a sound.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is no factual evidence.
What you're saying is you gotta see it to believe it. You can't go off what you hear or say because you brought up something. Someone can bring a rock from Saudi Arabia. Et cetera, et cetera. But the thing is, I can pick up a rock and say it's from Saudi Arabia, and therefore you would believe it. So
no, because you would have to prove that. You would need to prove that. You would have to show me that.
So that means how is someone going to prove to you Saudi Arabia is real if you've never actually been there?
That's not something that you could do. You can prove it's from somewhere based on.
No, you can't. But you have to physically be there. You have to physically be there. Just like if anything, you can't just bring a rock and say, "Look, this is real," because that's what the Bible is. What you're saying. So therefore, how is it valid for you?
You need tangible evidence. That is true.
Okay, but without you seeing it, is what you're saying is you can't believe it. So therefore, then you are no longer. You don't believe anything. The only states you've been in only exist. I've never been in Maine, so I guess Maine doesn't exist. That's
No,
what you're saying.
that's come on, that's childish. No, we
No,
can
it's
we
not
can use
childish.
our logic
I
to
could say it's
infer.
childish if you don't believe in Christianity, because it's the same thing. You say, where's the evidence? Well, you know, I gave you evidence. You say, oh, well, that's in every religion. Well, the thing is, Christianity is real. That's the thing. But you're saying, well, where's the proof? If you lived back in the time, there would be proof. There's recordings of it. But you're saying, oh,
Recording.
well, where's the
Okay,
proof?
hang on.
Just like
I
if you only
just want clarification. What are these recordings about? I don't know what
Jesus walking the earth, Jesus healing people with just the touch of his hand, and
Okay.
etc. The stuff that he did in the Bible has other people recorded, not just the prophets and all that. It's other people recorded.
Right. But what I'm saying is that you can find the exact same level of evidence from Islam with outsiders saying the same thing that they saw Prophet Muhammad doing these
But the
things.
thing is, saying and writing it down for years later to be found and seen like that, that's a different story than people saying, oh, well, this actually happened. This actually happened.
Well, no,
that's
I'm
different from
saying
finding
written
something from
pictures.
the
There
time
were
Jesus walked the earth.
There's art done. There's written writings about Muhammad's journeys. There's all sorts of physical evidence as well.
But the thing is, do they come from only the people who believe in it, or they come from people who don't even believe in it?
They come from people who are Gentiles in their religion. They come from people who didn't believe but saw this and were like, "Who is this man?" My point is that there are too many.
Buddhism, you said?
No, this is Islam. Buddhism is completely different. There is no God creator being. We don't believe in anything like that.
So what does Buddhism believe in?
Buddhism believes in the belief that if you continue to be the best version of yourself, you will eventually reach a state of pure happiness and bliss in life.
Well, see, look, that's fake.
That's fake. Okay, explain to me
just
why.
Because there's no physical evidence of you being a greater person than yourself in it's fake.
It's fake, and yet if we have a list of 10 rules, that somehow makes it valid.
Exactly. So therefore, what you're saying is you can't be a hypocrite and believe in what you believe in and be saying, oh, well, yours is fake because there's no proof of it.
I'm not saying it's fake. I'm saying it doesn't have the same level of evidence to prove things as some other theories produced do. The thing is, there's no way to know for sure. That's
but the thing is, you're being a hypocrite, though.
There's no bottom line. Huh? There's no way to know for sure, is what I'm saying. There's no way
you're saying that's fake. I believe Christianity is real. I don't believe, and 1% it's fake. It's real.
Okay, that's fine. That is a perfectly, like, you are allowed to have that belief. That is 100% your choice. That is okay. I do not.
But the thing is, when I tell you that the recordings, you don't like me saying that. You say, oh, well,
because well, I only say that because there are similar things in most other religions. You can find very similar items.
They're not there, just like how Christianity, they're there. They're actually there, physical evidence. Now, if I showed you these things, would you believe in Christianity?
If you showed me what, these recordings?
Yeah, these recordings. Would you believe in it?
Not a written version, no, because I write something out as well.
So what would make you believe in Christianity? You'd have to see it, or what?
Well, first of all, I would need to know. I can only judge things based on my limited perception as a human.
Okay, so is what you basically see is only what you can judge on?
No, not what I see. What I can feel, what I can see, what I can touch, taste, those abilities.
So you have to be there in order to believe it? No?
No, I don't. I can trust credible sources.
You just said you have to feel it.
I can trust credible. No. Because the other sense is through the mind. I can trust a credible source that I have believed in order to tell me that. And for you, that credible source is the Bible and those beliefs, correct?
Okay, so the credible source should be the Bible then, is what you're saying. It's very credible.
Right. To you.
So therefore,
because
what you're saying is contradicting. You're saying,
no, I'm saying,
source.
Hang on.
Well, what's a credible source to you?
To you, it's a credible source, correct?
Yes, but what's a credible source to you?
No, hang on. Let me continue. I'm trying to
I just want to know, what's a credible source to you?
A credible source to me is something that is proven, something that I can see, touch, feel, taste, look at, and talk to. Something that I can look at. For example.
So basically, you're basically saying you have to be there, just like the whole Maine thing. If you've never been to Maine, you've never seen Maine or anything, you don't believe in it. That's just how it is.
If you see, but let me clear this up. If I see a picture of something, that makes it real as well. No, does it?
In a way, you just said no, because there's a picture. There's actually paintings of what God did.
Right. Okay.
So therefore,
perfect. Right. There's more than just written evidence. There's visual evidence as well, and that is something that helps you along to see something, to picture something, because we.
But the thing is, But my question is, there's pictures, there's scriptures, there's everything. proving that God is real. But the thing is, are you Christian now?
Am I Christian now? No, because my belief and my morality do not allow me to become Christian.
Okay,
Because
but what you're saying is contradicting them.
No, I don't agree with the major problem I have with Christianity is I don't agree with its morality. I don't agree with the way it is hypocritical within itself.
Well, just because you don't agree with something doesn't mean it's fake.
No, but it doesn't mean I need to believe in it either. Because if I find something to be inherently disgusting, I don't need to be.
Okay, but what's disgusting about Christianity?
What's disgusting about Christianity? Where do I start?
Well, go start.
It is Exodus. Exodus condones slavery. Leviticus tells you that you
okay, but let me ask you, who started slavery? Let me ask you this.
Who started slavery? Egyptians.
Yes, but who started the real slavery as in America we call today?
As in America, then it would be the slave traders of the Spanish.
Slave traders African Americans actually started.
No,
slavery.
Do you mean
we
who
went
were
to
the
Africa,
slaves?
and we found that they were selling us them because they used to be tribal and they used to fight, and whatever was left, they would sell those people to different people. Now we went there, we bought them, and therefore we wanted more. So we actually just went out there and took everyone we wanted, even if they weren't slaved in their own kind. We just took them. So therefore, in a way, we didn't start slavery. None of us did.
That's not what I said. I never said that Christianity started slavery or anything like that. What I'm saying is
you thought Spanish started it.
Right. I'm not saying that anyone started. I'm not talking about the origin of slavery. I'm talking about the notion that it is condoned within the Bible to say, yes, you can sell someone into slavery. That is a possibility.
So basically, if this guy came to me and he says, you pay me $1 million and I'll be your slave for 10 years, is that wrong?
Yes, that is wrong.
Why is that wrong? We make a formal agreement. He chooses to do that. How is that wrong?
Because to your own morality. If you believe in morality, you should know that you do not subjugate someone to a lower position than you.
So if someone came to me and said, hey, I want to be your slave for $1 million, 10-year limit, how is that me doing that? He came to me to do that. How is that wrong?
Okay. I misunderstood. My bad. No, then if he comes to you with a business proposition of that sort, and it's in a mutual agreement and whatever, and you guys both agree, then that's a business agreement. That's a business.
Okay, then how come you can take Exodus saying now Exodus is wrong for that when basically it could mean that?
Because it's the selling of people.
So, okay, but the thing is, he's going to get paid the $1 million if I sell him to someone else. How is that wrong?
Because you should know that you don't sell people. Like, that's not.
But the thing,
if you take it from the perspective,
he comes to me with a 10-year contract, he has to abide by, and we both agree on it, and he has 5 years left. And, I don't want to do this. This guy buys him for the price, and then he's going to still pay him out the same amount of price. How is that legal?
Okay,
how is that wrong?
But the problem is that the slavery being mentioned there is not equally condoned by both parties. It is a control, master and slave dominant submissive relationship.
The contract is a contract. That's the thing.
But it's not a contract when people don't agree. But
if the new slave owner does the same exact thing as what I did, there's no wrong in it.
Did the Israelites want to be slaves? Absolutely not. If they had been sold out to someone else, they still would not want to be slaves. But the
thing is, but in a way, it's the same exact thing. I mean,
it's the same level.
That he came to me with a valid contract and said, as long as I'll do whatever you want, I'll be your slave for 5 years or 10 years, and I want my $1 million after that 10th year. Okay, deal. And now this guy, hey, I'll take him off your hands.
But Steve, that example doesn't
do thing. We'll still follow the same rules and everything. It's the same guy, just different person. I say, okay, we'll take him, and he gives me the money for it. That's not wrong.
No one is coming to you. No one is coming to you in a realistic situation like that. The slaves that were
let's
take the example. Let's take the example you took.
Right now, I'm pretty sure they would do that for 5 years.
No. Let's take the example you had. All right, we took the Africans sold other members of themselves to us, to the U.S. And the U.S. took them. And did they want to be slaves?
No, I guess not.
No, they did not. So, if they were sold from Virginia to Vermont, would they still want to be slaves?
Okay, but you're taking a whole different hypothesis here.
No, I'm taking the exact same thing. Slavery
But
at
I'm
its
talking
core
about,
is not.
okay, but what you read, that you interpreted as something evil because you want to believe in the evil of the Bible.
No, I want to believe.
I took it as, hey, if
the
someone came to work
definition
for
of
me,
slavery is not a positive definition. What you're talking about is like an
how is it not
indentured
positive?
servitude.
If he agrees to it, if it's a, do you
That's
even know
an
how
indentured
American slavery
servitude.
even started in
That-
the first place?
but
People would
that's
come
an-
over here, work for their rights to own land, and therefore that's the original of slavery in America.
No,
that
that's
people came over here to work
No.
for what they got, and after they would be given.
That is called indentured servitude. That is when you worked for
That's
someone.
same thing as slavery.
No, it's not, because
Yes, it
indentured
is.
servitude is a contract. Slavery was never a contract. Slavery was ownership of someone for life. Unless you wanted to sell them, they got no
Okay,
profit.
but then how
they
do you?
got no
Okay, but you want to
benefits.
bring up animals and them being gay and stuff. Well, animals kill each other, so should we just kill each other then? Because
We
that's
do
how animals
anyway.
do it.
We kill each other anyway. Why are you
But the
acting
thing
like
is,
we
but
don't?
the thing is, can I just walk wherever I want and do that?
And kill someone?
Yeah.
No. First
But
of all,
you say it's okay for animals, but why not for us?
I didn't say it's okay for animals. I said it happens.
So you're saying animals shouldn't kill each other?
Ideally, no.
Ideally,
be-
no. Then how are
Ideally,
they gonna
no.
survive?
But that is nature. That is nature.
That is
and-
nature. So if
right,
if
exactly.
I went out of my way and did it, that could be nature if I'm gonna eat them, then, right?
Right. Okay. That would
So
be
therefore,
nature
is it okay
if you
if I
went
do
out of
that?
your way. You went out of, if that was your human nature to go kill someone, fine. But unfortunately, the society and the constructs of living that we live in would not allow for such an act.
Exactly. But the thing is, why is it okay for that? But you said animals are homosexual, so it must be okay for us to do it. So don't bring up animals if you're going to regulate on what's right and wrong with them.
No, I'm not regulating what's right and wrong. I'm saying if there was no social construct right now, you would be free to do whatever you wanted to do. If you wanted to kill someone, go for it. You can do it. You're still able to do so.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, you are still able to do so. Now, will there be repercussions because of where and how we live? Yes. But if you went out into the jungle and killed somebody, that is your doing. You can do that. Just like you can breathe, you can lift, you can close your eyes, open your eyes, you can do whatever
Exactly,
you want.
but the thing is,
an animal can do just the same. The problem is that
if animals
live
evolve into something different, how come the tigers have almost went extinct? If it wasn't for human to breed a special plant for them, how come they would have gone extinct?
There is something called poaching that has been going on for centuries, and poaching eliminates a species almost to the brink of extinction when it is overdone. And that is the case with a lot of animals, especially in Africa and in Asia.
The thing is, wouldn't they evolve into something different, so therefore these things wouldn't happen?
No, because once again,
therefore you get to pick the rules of how it works and what's right and wrong.
No, you're cutting me off before I can explain.
Well, because you just said no. That's all I'm asking for. Well, it just doesn't make any sense how you can come up with the rules for evolution.
See, but you're selecting a one-word answer. You're selecting a one-word answer to a very complex question.
Well, then don't say yes or no.
No.
Then you answer the question. You don't say yes or no. But the thing is, my questions are yes or no's. There shouldn't be no.
But that's
other
not what
answer
they are.
to it.
No. They aren't yes or no questions because you can't answer it a yes or no. It's a very complex
yes,
question.
there is. You said something about slavery. I say yes, you can sell a slave. If we did that, I'll say yes, you can sell a slave.
Okay, but is it a right thing to do? That's not. We weren't talking about the origin of slavery. I was asking you, is it the right thing to do?
Yes. If it was yes, my type as I interpret it, yes.
To sell a slave.
What?
To sell a slave is morally permissible.
Yes.
Okay. What about burning your mother at a small family gathering for wearing a garment made of two cloths?
A what?
What about burning someone for wearing clothing of two different materials?
Okay, and explain this one. What verse and everything?
I don't know what verse that is, but I've read it somewhere. Let me find it.
Please. Okay, but while you're finding it, carry on to a new one.
There's too many. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, in Proverbs 20:20, if one curses his father or mother, his lamp will go out at the coming of darkness. Now that is very fancy language to tell someone that if you curse your parents, you will die, and that probably means go to hell as well.
It's not saying die. It says cursing one another is very wrong.
Let me go again. Leviticus 29. All who curse their father and mother must be put to death.
Must be put to death. Okay. So the thing is, that's an act of evil. That's coming from Satan. Do you know all about that?
Yes, I do know about that.
Okay, what do you know about that?
About Satan?
Satan, yeah.
That the Catholic Christian belief system believes him to be the ruler of all evil, and to instigate people to follow morality contrary to the ones provided by God.
And if you follow Satan, what happens to you?
According to the Bible, you will end up in hell for eternity.
Exactly. Now, whose choice is it to make the decision of that or not?
Whose choice is it to follow Satan?
Yes. Whose choice is to follow God or Satan?
It is the human's choice.
Exactly. There's temptation out there.
Yes.
As a kid, you know right from wrong as from the start. Just if your kid did something wrong, they would make a face expression, they would try to hide or something like that. How are you going to say that a kid has been taught our society from that little being? There has to be something higher that's already showing that what a kid did is something wrong, that he even knows it. And he's what, 2 years old?
No, because you can learn morality from different areas. Like
But a 2-year-old does not know how to talk. A 2-year-old can't speak or anything. So how is he going to learn anything?
You learn it by your surroundings and by your experience and by whom is raising you. For example, in Africa, in young tribes currently in the Congo, young children grow up wanting to be the warlord that controls their area. They want to be the man to kill other men. Because
okay, you're saying children from a baby and like a baby. There's a difference between 5 years old and a 2-year-old. You can't remember anything from when you were 2 years old. The 2-year-old
grows up to a 5-year-old and learns all of this along the way.
Yes, but at a 5-year-old, you know how to talk, you know how to read, you know how to communicate.
Then what are you trying to
I'm trying to tell you that a 2-year-old has no way of learning anything.
Okay, so they're a blank
and he
slate?
already knows, right?
Is that what you're telling me?
So therefore, the Bible already proves its existence from there. There has to be a higher thing of temptation and not.
The Bible proves that they have a morality already.
Yes.
Okay, but so does every other holy book in the world.
Okay, but the thing is, if that's true, then you got to pick one to believe in. You believe in Buddhism, so you believe in none of them. So therefore, what are you doing?
Because Buddhism isn't devoid of its own.
Is it devoid of its own? Because
it is not devoid of its own.
But you're being a hypocrite here. Where's your proof of being a higher thing?
There is no higher thing. I don't believe in one. Buddhism doesn't believe in one.
So what does Buddhism believe in?
It believes that people are naturally good, and they decide along the way based on their experiences, and not if they're going to continue along a path of good or a path of evil. Just as we do here, just with the absence of a God. Just like Christians do, just with the absence of a God.
But doesn't Buddhism think you can move stuff with your mind and stuff like that? Like
no.
Telekinesis?
No.
Yes. It does.
There are different versions of Buddhism, but that's not the one I follow.
Okay, which Buddhism are you?
Mahayana.
And what does that one mean?
Mahayana
so basically
is
saying there's a good and evil in the world, you got to pick one.
Well,
that?
No, it gives you a motivation through karma, which is the belief that whatever you put into the world and into the universe comes back to you in a similar or different form. But no matter what, if you're an evil person, evil will return to you. If you're a good person, good will return to you. So it motivates you, just like any other morality in any other society or religion does, to motivate you to do good.
So basically, if I killed someone, I'm going to die because that's my plan.
No. That's not what I said. I said it comes in a similar or different format. You can suffer in a very different way, but that's not. I don't know how you would suffer.
So
for
you
that.
guys believe in actually, if you do something wrong, you deserve to be treated horrible for it.
No, we don't say you deserve.
Yes, that's what you're saying. You're saying
I did not
if a person
say,
is doing something wrong, they deserve to get karma going back to them.
I did not say deserve. I said that it will.
You basically just said that's the religion. That's what it is.
It's
you
not
just said if karma is basically if I do something wrong, I'm gonna get something coming back at me.
Yes.
Which is not good. So therefore, you support the actions of not good.
But if you sin,
basically going against your religion.
Okay, but if you sin and you don't seek forgiveness, aren't you going to get punished as well?
I'm gonna go to hell.
Okay, that's a very similar sentiment.
But the thing is, I'm not denying it. You were just denying it.
I'm not denying it. I'm saying
you just
that
said no. That's not what it is.
We don't tell people. We don't tell people that you're gonna go to hell. That you should know it. If you do something bad will happen to you.
No, but karma's not like